Far beneath the shimmering waves of the ocean, where sunlight danced like golden ribbons on the sandy floor, lived a shy little mermaid named Nella. Nella had soft turquoise scales that sparkled faintly in the light, and long hair the color of sea foam. Though she was kind and gentle, she was known among her mermaid friends as the quiet one. Nella rarely spoke, and she never sang, even though every mermaid in the ocean loved to sing songs that echoed through the reefs. It wasn't that Nella didn't like singing. She loved it more than anything. At night, when she was alone in her seashell bed, she often hummed softly to herself. But whenever she tried to sing in front of others, her voice grew small, and she quickly grew silent. She feared that her voice wasn't as strong or as beautiful as the others. One sunny morning, while exploring near the coral caves, Nella noticed something glowing in the sand. She swam closer and brushed the grains away with her tail. To her amazement, she found a seashell unlike any she had ever seen. It shimmered with golden swirls, and when she placed it against her ear, instead of hearing the sound of waves, she heard a melody, a sweet, enchanting song. Suddenly, the seashell spoke in a gentle musical voice. "Little mermaid, I am the singing seashell. I hold the power to grant wishes, but only when someone sings the special song that lies in their heart." Nella gasped. "A seashell? That grants wishes?" "Yes," the shell replied. "But remember, wishes can only be granted if the singer truly believes in their own voice. Without song, I am silent." At first, Nella wanted to wish for something beautiful, like a pearl necklace or a chariot made of seahorse tails. But as the singing seashell floated in her hands, she thought of all the mermaids who could not attend the festival because they were too sick or too scared. A sad song filled her heart, and that's when she understood what her wish should be. She wanted to help her friends, but to do that, she had to sing, and the thought of singing in front of everyone terrified her. That evening, Nella swam to her friends who were playing near the kelp forest. One of them, Lyra, sighed sadly. "I wish I could have pearls for my crown at the sea festival tomorrow, but pearls are so hard to find." Nella clutched the seashell. She wanted to help, but that meant she had to sing. She looked at her friends laughing and chatting. Could she do it in front of them? With trembling hands, she lifted the singing seashell close to her lips. A faint glow began to shine. Waiting, Nella took a deep breath, and a small shaky tune slipped from her mouth. At first, her voice quivered, but as she continued, the melody grew steadier and more beautiful. The seashell sparkled brighter and brighter. Suddenly, pearls began to float gently from the sand, glowing like stars. Lyra gasped with delight. "Nella, you made my wish come true!" All her friends cheered. Nella's cheeks warmed, but she smiled shyly. For the first time, she had sung out loud, and something magical had happened. Over the next few days, more of Nella's friends came to her with their wishes. One mermaid wished for a lantern to guide her through the dark trenches. Another wished for a harp so she could play music during the festival. Each time, Nella sang, and each time, the seashell glowed, and the wish came true. With every song, Nella's voice grew stronger, clearer, and more confident. The mermaids began to gather around her, not just for wishes, but to hear her sing. They told her, "Your voice is like the ocean breeze, soft but full of magic." Yet the singing seashell also whispered a warning to Nella one night. "Little mermaid, remember that my power is not endless. The greatest wish I can grant is not pearls or lanterns. It is the courage inside your own heart." Nella didn't fully understand until the sea festival arrived. On that day, all the mermaids gathered to sing before the Sea Queen. Beautiful voices filled the sea, rising and falling like waves. When it was Nella's turn, her stomach tightened. She held the singing seashell in her hands. What if she sang and her voice cracked? What if everyone laughed? Then she remembered all the friends she had helped. She remembered the smiles, the joy, and the way her heart had soared each time she dared to sing. Slowly she lowered the seashell. This time, Nella whispered, "I'll sing on my own." Taking a deep breath, she let her song flow. At first, her voice was soft, like the ripple of water, but as she sang, her courage grew, and her voice lifted higher and stronger, filling the sea with a melody more beautiful than she had ever imagined. The coral glowed, the fish twirled in rhythm, and the whole ocean seemed to listen. When she finished, silence hung for a moment, and then the Sea Queen herself clapped her hands, her crown shining. "Little Mermaid," said the Queen, "your voice carries the true magic of the sea. Not because of the shell, but because you found the courage to share it." Nella's friends rushed to hug her. "We always knew you had a special gift." That night, the singing seashell whispered for the last time, "My purpose is done. You no longer need me, for the greatest magic was within you all along." The seashell's glow faded gently, becoming just an ordinary shell, but Nella kept it as a reminder of her journey. She was no longer the shy mermaid who hid her voice. She was Nella, the mermaid whose song carried light, hope, and courage. And whenever the ocean grew quiet, Nella's voice rose like a shining wave, reminding every creature that even the smallest voice could hold the power to change the sea.